As mentioned, we said we would have a guest on the phone, ladies and gentlemen, with us via telephone. It was an interview, long time in the making, his debut album. His Chulem, his dream, has finally happened. His album is available in stores. He's traveling the world performing. And my dream happened too, because he's finally joining us live in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Dudi Knopfler.
Hello, Yossi. How are you?
Dudi, see, you had a dream and I had a dream, and they both happened.
Yeah, the main thing is never give up on your dream and just follow your dream, so you'll achieve it.
100%. Dudi Knopfler with us via telephone. We're talking about his debut album, released in both Hebrew version and a regular American version. The U.S. version is entitled Man Chulem, and the Hebrew version is entitled Man Hachalom Sheli. Dudi, how does it feel to have your dream out there in the world, listened by thousands of people worldwide?
Baruch Hashem, it's a very good feeling after working 3 years on it, and it's finally released, and everybody's seeing the songs and enjoying it. It's a very good feeling. Baruch Hashem that I'll be able to do it.
Now, since you've been traveling and performing a lot, I've seen many kumsitzen, simchas, and stam concerts. What has the feedback been? I mean, you were in Israel a few months ago. How are people responding to your album?
They love it, Baruch Hashem, all over. And obviously in Israel, they love more the Israeli songs, Hachalom Sheli, and in America, the American version. Baruch Hashem, there are some songs that it's international, Sheikh Az, and some songs that they're singing all over. Baruch Hashem, it's very nice, and it's better than expected. Baruch Hashem, it's my first album.
Yeah, it definitely is. You first came to my mind, I mean, your music. Yes, I've seen your kumsitzes and your social media posts, but when you released that video together with Shira Choir, Einoid Milvada, like that was my introduction to Dudi Knopfler, and it was like getting knocked over in the head because it was like such a spectacular video, production, scenery, and music. How did you come? How did you come to do that? Like, where did the idea for that come from?
So it was actually my idea. I always liked that song. It's an original song from Shlomi Shabbat in Hebrew, Enod Mavader. I always liked that song, and I decided I wanted to do it first in Hebrew. Then I decided, why not making it in Yiddish? So I changed it to Yiddish, and we made that video. It's on Bear Mountain with Shira Choir, over 20 members of Shira Choir. It looks very big.
Right.
And we made that video, and it's now up to 500,000 views. It was a hit, a real hit, that video.
Wow.
And Taka, the main comment that I kept on getting from that video is that, wow, that was my favorite song. Thanks for making it in Yiddish, because it's a beautiful song that everybody loves. And the thing that I changed it from Hebrew to Yiddish, a lot of people liked it, but the Hasidim, obviously, and it was a very strong clip. Yeah, it's nice. Everything is good about it. Baruch Hashem.
Now, was the Yiddish version like a literal translation, so to speak, of the Hebrew, or was it like a totally different translation?
It's just translated. Yeah, everything is the same subject, the same word, just in Yiddish.
Well, I know in my house we loved it. I know we added it to the station as soon as it came out, and it fast became a favorite. Dudi Knopfler with us via telephone. I did mean to ask you. A lot of listeners are writing in that you had this Einad Milvada, you had Yivarecha, you had Kibbutz Simcha, and you had Gut, but none of but none of these singles are included on the album. Why is that?
So only one of these singles, only Nachmi. So the reason why is because I made, like, all these songs were covers of other people, right? Shlomi Shabbat, Yivarechu, it's from Leon Narkis, from Israel. Anyway, so
what was Kibbutz Simcha a cover of?
So Kibbutz Simcha was a new song.
Oh, so it was a new song, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't in the album because I felt that it was a big hit and everybody liked it and everybody listened to it already. They know it already. I want to bring new stuff now. I didn't want to recycle stuff now for the album. People are paying $16 for the album. They should get new stuff, right? So only one song, Nachmi, that I released just recently, before like a few months ago. So that's why I included it in the album.
That was I'm trying to remember. You released it as a live performance in Israel, I believe, as a video clip, right?
Yeah. It's a beautiful song composed by Rabbi Baruch Tzeit.
Yeah, gorgeous song.
Beautiful composition.
Gorgeous song. Dudi Knopfler with us via telephone. I must tell you, before we even get into the album, the marketing and the ideas behind this, this is like I don't remember the last time an album came out with such marketing and such signage and signs in the store in English, Hebrew, a maroon cover, a teal cover, and everybody's going nuts.
Yeah. The key is to give for the people what they want and what they like. It's either it's in the album, either it's in the marketing. Baruch Hashem, I had a very exciting campaign and everybody liked it.
We definitely like it over here. So you had a lot of arrangers you worked with, but I believe you worked with a musical director, Tzvi Blumenfeld. Now, Dudi, you're a music fan too. You've worked, you've listened to many albums. How did you come to the decision to only work with one musical director versus, I don't know, each song going to a totally different arranger or not having one person overview everything?
Yeah. So it's not that Tzvi Blumenfeld didn't arrange the whole album. He arranged 4 songs, but he was the musical director. You always need to have like one guy that everything is going like. There's so many studios and people involved in the album. You always need to have one guy that everything is going through him, right?
Right.
So it doesn't get mixed up and it doesn't get complicated. So he was that guy, and he also decided, together with me, obviously, he pushed me which direction to go with every song. Like I came to him with 11 songs, before the music, but the songs were final. And he was telling me, okay, this song, go to Yuval Stupal. He would be the best music for this song. This song, go to Eli Klein, Tiberi. They would be the best for this song, right? And this song to Berko, and this song to Young Friday. So every song, he guided me to whom to go. That's his title, musical director. He was the musical director of the album. Yeah, songs he made by himself.
I think that's very good. Most arrangers would say, just give it to me. I'll do it myself.
I'll do it. I'll make the money.
The fact that he was smart enough to know.
He's a very honest guy and a very good guy to deal with. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we have
Baruch Hashem.
We have listener Morty Stark here on Twitter wrote in, can you ask Dudi which part of Vayitzak he composed, because it says composed by
that's a good question.
Baruch Sholem and Dudi Knopfler.
Yeah,
so he wants to know that.
It was an interesting way. It was a very interesting way how that song went. Because when you go to, I'll give you an example, Yitzhak Waldner, right?
Right.
When you go to him, like in 5 minutes, you can have done your song. If you don't like it, in the next 5 minutes, you'll have a different song. He's very fast and talented, and like crazy talented and fast. Baruch Sholem, totally different. He's an artist. He's not so fast, and so he doesn't have stuff. He's an artist. He needs to think and to. It's you can hear in the song that it's different songs, right? Everybody has his own taste, but every composer has his own way of composing, right? So Baruch Sholem, I think we sat for 5 hours, and we came up with just the first part. מבית הציון שיבעתי, כי גם צעקו ושאותחתי יויס, אינו יבד אסלם, just that part.
Okay.
And so I liked it very much. I didn't want to give it away or drop it. And he was trying to make a second part. It didn't go. I didn't like any second parts on it. Until I decided that I'm going to sit down with my keyboard and I'm going to try to make a second part. So I went up and down like a few days until I got that part. That second part. So the second part is totally mine. The first part is totally him. So it's not so confusing. Part A is Baruch Sholem, part B is me.
Did you go back to him to see what he thought of the song? Or
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Right.
When I went back to him, he told me, I would never do this. It's not me, but it's totally you, so keep it. He told me
that sounds like him.
I can see. He told me I don't feel like in the second part that it's my composition, but I feel that you're doing it so good and singing it so good. The second part is just you. Just keep it that way, and we'll make a deal.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Dudi Knopfler with us via telephone. We're talking about the release of his debut album, Man Chulem or Hachalom Sheli. Speaking of that, I believe me and you have a lot similar music taste. You've probably been a fan of Yishai Lapidot like I have. But how do you get a sit down with Yishai and then decide to compose a song totally in Yiddish and in Hebrew? I know you had Shlomi Rosenberg helping you out with the Yiddish song, but Yishai wrote the Hebrew tracks too, the Hebrew lyrics too, or was that somebody else?
So Yishai wrote the Hebrew lyrics and the melody. So he gave me that song, the lyrics, the subject, the melody, and then I just translate the lyrics to Yiddish for the Yiddish version. Yeah, I always loved Alek Katan and all the slow, heartwarming songs from Yishai.
Right.
He has a unique Israeli touch.
No, he does.
Yeah, I went to him. I actually went to him in Israel, Netanya, once, I think last year when I was in, maybe 2 years ago already, when I was in Israel, and I sat down with him. He showed me some stuff. We composed some stuff, but anyway, in the end, I took this song, beautiful song, Baruch Hashem.
Now, tell me, Dudi, is it hard straddling both worlds over here? You're a Hasidic Yingaman. You know, you're doing Kumsitz, which is becoming more accepted in the Hasidic Welt. But over here, your title track is talking about wanting to move to Eretz Yisrael, which, you know, Hasidim always they love Eretz Yisrael, but you know they have to worry about straddling the Zionistic fence over there. You getting any flack? Anybody's upset at you about it, or everybody's accepting it the way it is?
No, Baruch Hashem, I explained it very clear to everybody in the marketing that I'm a Hasidic, I'm not a Satmar. I belong to Tzams from Israel. My mother is Israeli. I mean, I can talk Hebrew. There's no problem for me to sing in Hebrew. I love Hebrew songs. I love all Shlomi Shabbat, Omer Adam, and Leon Narkis. I love all their songs. And I love to sing it. And I have a lot of, like, half of my clients are modern people, and they like the Israeli stuff, and I love to do it. The only reason, like, the original plan was to release only the Hebrew, not Yiddish even.
Okay.
But I decided that, and it wasn't my own decision. A lot of my clients that live in Monroe or in Williamsburg, the Satmar clients, and they have a problem with Hebrew. They don't want to listen to Hebrew. They told me, please, they were much begging to me to do a Yiddish version because they're not going to be able to buy the CD to show it to the children because they'll have problems with the Hebrew. So then I decided, okay, why not? I'll make a Yiddish version too. So I'll sell more copies in Monroe and in Williamsburg, right?
Right.
And all my clients will be happy. And by the way, like in Monroe and in Williamsburg, in the stores were only the Yiddish version. And then if you went in Borough Park, you could, and in Muncie you could buy both. And probably in Flatbush there were only the Hebrew version. So
I actually had that question for you. I was very confused. I know a lot of people were. You had to put out a video explaining what the two versions were. Why in America didn't you just release the Teal with the bonus track of the Hebrew album versus releasing two full-fledged different covers, different everything?
It's also a part of the marketing to have two colors and two CDs. So when you come in the store, you see two CDs instead of one, right? Okay. You just need to decide which one of these two you're going to take, not between this and the other CD, right?
But the difference was what? It was one track or two tracks that were different?
Two tracks. It's Hachalom Sheli, My Dream, that song, and then it's also track. I think it's track number 8. It's from Dudi Knopfler, the Poseach.
Right, yeah. Right. Dudi Knopfler with us via telephone talking about the release of his debut album, Hachalom Sheli, Man Chulem. Listener Shmuel in Chicago, I think he wants to start up with you, says if Dudi had a dream to move to Israel, why didn't he save the money from the album and move to Israel?
So I was actually at Radio Kol Chai, Menachem Tucker. Obviously, you know him, right?
Yeah, sure.
In Israel, he's the Yossi Zweig of Israel, right?
Yeah, as they say.
So I went to him for an interview, and he asked me, I don't understand. MBD, Avram Fried, Yaakov Shweki, and now you are telling me that your dream is to live in Israel. All the years I've heard it from MBD, from all the big singers, my dream is to live in Israel. So, but why are you living in New York still?
Good question.
So, I think it's the same question. Anyway, so I told him that's why it's my dream. That's why it's still my dream. But no, it's really my dream, and I actually have a lot of friends. I can probably more than 10 friends who moved from my area, from Muncie.
Really?
From my shul that I davened in the last year or two to Israel. Yeah, I really love Israel, and I hope to get there one day.
Look, I do too.
It's not so easy with the family and with the career to move. That's why I'm still here. But
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
My wife would move in a heartbeat. Me, I just can't figure out how life would work. The way of life is very different.
I think it's the place for you to be. It's like you feel at home in Israel.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Earlier we were speaking about Yossi Waldner. I see you have Baruch Hashem about 4 songs here from Yossi Waldner.
Three songs, right? Yeah.
So tell me, did these 3 songs happen in 1 hour? You weren't happy with a song and you went to another one, or was it a little bit longer than that?
Let me think. I'll think. Actually, I went down to him 2 times. The first time, I got 2 songs. I got Yivarechecho and the Tfilas Chusen, the Chuppah song. And then I went down, that was in the beginning of the CD. Yivarechecho was my first song that I picked for the CD.
Okay.
And then, by the end of the picking the songs, probably a year later, I went down again for Ani Mashiach Li, for the disco song.
I happen to like that song a lot. Listener Sarah in LA says, it's track 6, Tfilas Chassan. Did Dudi do this because there was already a Tfilat Kala from Shweki and he wanted, something for the other side, or this is just what Yossi Waldner came up with?
It's a good question. I'll explain you how that song went, by the composition. So it was just the melody for 1 year. Yossi Waldner composed that melody.
Okay.
The whole song, and we didn't find the correct words for it. I always felt, from the beginning when he composed it, that it's a fancy, heartwarming song, but together it's like a chuppah song.
Okay.
I felt that I should find chuppah lyrics on it. I always searched for chuppah lyrics, and it's hard to find chuppah lyrics because I think there's basically songs on every chuppah lyrics that you can find, and
you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to have another Baidish Chulem, another. Right.
Yeah, I tried by every song of the album not to redo some lyrics that somebody else did already. So until I found that Tfilah from the Chidu that he wrote, he used to write very nice rhymes. So that's a Tfilah from him that he wrote for a Chusen, and I actually put it onto that lyric. I matched that lyric to the melody. He helped me to finalize it, and then we were thinking together which name can we give, Hinai Buit Palgan, which name can we give? It's a lot of lyrics. It's
right.
Not like a pussy. You know right away.
It's a bless.
It's going to be titled Yivrech, right?
Right.
But it's a lot of lyrics. So that's why also the Shweki one is Tfilat Kala, because it's a lot of lyrics. Yes? So it's basically a tefillah for the Kala. So you name it Tfilat Kala. This was a tefillah for the Chusen, so we named it Tfilat Chatan. It's not Tfilat Chatan, it's Tfilat Chusen. It's more a Hasidish song. It's not Hebrew. The Shweki one is Hebrew, right?
100%, definitely.
Shweki one, actually, I'm singing it almost by every Chopin.
Everybody does. Eli Schwab is an amazing composer. What can I say? But speaking of Yossi Green, track 11, Yossi Green. I mean, that's
that's a masterpiece.
We have Dudi Knopfler, relatively newcomer, and he has Baruch Chait, and he has Yossi Waldner, and he has Baruch Sholom, he has Dudi Kalish, and he just keep going. I see here Moti Ilovich, and of course Pinky Weber. But then Yossi Green. What was that experience like for you? You've probably grown up listening to Dedi like all of us and everything and everybody else that Yossi Green's been producing.
You can still ask Yossi Green. It's probably a song that he will never forget, the composition of it, because it's a song that has, if I'm correct, I think it has 9 parts to that song, 9 rhythms.
Okay.
So every part of the song is a different rhythm, different melody. It was the whole puzzle to make it. Lipa Schmalzer wrote the lyrics, and then we went with the lyrics from Lipa. We went to Yossi Green, and he wrote the song on the lyrics from Lipa. So it was a hard song for him. It didn't take 1 minute. Took a few hours, and then I went back to him for another few hours. And Baruch Hashem, I knew exactly what I want. So Baruch Hashem, he could, probably Yossi Green is the only one that could make me happy and compose exactly what I wanted. So that's why I went to him. Baruch Hashem, it's beautiful. It's a masterpiece. It's a whole. It's basically it's a show. It's a, I don't know how to call it. It's the whole song. It's like a play. It's like a Dudu Fisher song. If you understand the words, like a mushel with a nimshel back and forth. It's a whole story.
Is this track 11? We're talking about Shiru HaZois, composed by Yossi Zweig.
Shiru HaZois, Shiru Choir also. Shiru HaZois, so I decided to take Shiru Choir. It's a very interesting song. It's not a typical song that everybody can sing. It's a song that you need to practice. Like I never did it live even after the album because it's such a hard song. If I would do it live, we'll probably need me and the band, the music and the choir will probably need a few weeks of practice.
Okay, so if anybody's hiring Dudi for a wedding, please request track 11.
Oh no, please not.
So we see Lipa Schmelze here. Now, was Lipa helping with these lyrics at the same time that he gave you Sheikhanat, or was this
no,
time
different
later?
Time. No. Probably a year later. Yeah.
Now, your Lipa connection is because of Muncie, or just throughout the years?
No, I think it's throughout the years. He's actually my cousin also.
That's right. I remember hearing that at some point, yeah.
It's throughout the years, and music, I went to him, I heard songs. He's very talented. Like, you got to know how to sneak out the good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And, so...
Well, you got to catch it when he has it, because he jumps so fast from thing to thing.
Yeah, he's so fast. Like, when you're starting to think, he finished already.
Yeah. So, Dudi, I got to tell you, opening an album with a Sheikhanat, Sheikhanat is very defined. Everybody has a Sheikhanat, when they're doing in Shul. You got to have...
Sheikhanat is the beginning. It's the beginning of Shachris too, right?
It definitely is, but you have to have Git Chitzpah to try to compose a Naya Sheikhanat for a new singer,
Yeah, nice song, and I'm using it to start the second dance by wedding.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a beginning, and then you have the song.
Right, definitely, it's a good pumping song arranged by Eli Kleini. It's Iberi, a talented duo from Israel, of course. As Dudi said, all the music was under the musical director, the leadership of Tzvi Blumenfeld, who seems to know exactly what he's doing because he was able to hook him up with Shlomi Rosenberg, Eli Klein, Tzvi Tzvi himself, Leib Yaakov Rigler, who's a gorgeous arranger who did Yivarechecha, as well as Avrami Burkow, Dudi Kalish, and more. The album is in stores now. You can get the Hebrew or the U.S. version, rather, Man Chulem or Hachalom Sheli. Dudi, someone told me recently you started getting into video production.
Me?
Yeah,
I'm working on my videos now. I'm working on the album. Still secret which song, but obviously I'm working on a beautiful music video, as I did in the past already. I never let anyone down on my music videos. So I love to do video. I love to imagine the story and to bring it out in the video. So I'm working now on one of the songs in my album.
Well, good. We're looking forward to see it. Do you think we'll be able to see it by Lag B'Omer time or before Pesach still?
No, I don't think that before Shvi. It's a big project, that video. But after Shvi, yeah.
Okay, well, you guys know what to do. You got to subscribe to Dudi Knopfler on YouTube, I guess, if you want to see it first, right?
Yeah.
Dudi, I want to wish you a Chag Kush and Samayach, Haslucha Rabba. We're loving your album.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, Yossi. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
We're going to play you out here with some Ani Ma, because we discussed it and our listeners love it. Take care, Dudi. Have a great day.
All right, thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Dudi Knopfler. Here he is with Ani Ma, and you, my friends, are tuned into the Z Report Live on the Jewish Entertainment Network.
אני מה שיש לי, הכוח שלי, הכל להבוירה יסבורך שמוי, בוס איכתי ונכתיבי הזו איכתי, הכל להבוירה יסבורך שמוי, אני מה שיש לי, הכוח שלי, הכל להבוירה יסבורך שמוי, בוס איכתי ונכתיבי הזו איכתי, הכל להבוירה יסבורך שמוי בוס איכתי ויעזו איכתי אוי ויעזו איכתי אני